Once upon a time, people in the 19th century got so bored that they decided to write some novels. Sorry, novellas. These novellas were The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Dracula, and Frankenstein or The Modern Prometheus, in that order. And that's everything people in the 19th century contributed to modern society. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is actually just Jekyll, because Hyde is an apparition that's conjured whenever Jekyll gets baked on his magic elixir. Hence, Hyde. He does this crap for what I'm sure is a morally sound reason, but then Hyde can't keep it together and runs over some little kid. And then, his bloodlust thus engaged, he decides to kill an old man with his own cane. By this time, Jekyll is having trouble staying that way, and now his alter ego is a wanted fugitive. So he does what any sensible person does, and puts a flintlock in his mouth and flints the lock. Locks the flint. Whatever. Guy dies and it's kind of his own fault. Next comes Dracula. Bro's trying to sell some frickin' foreigner's house, but then it turns out that the foreigner is a blood-sucking demon spawn. You can guess what happens after that. Then the foreigner tries to move to England to be among different foreigners, but the bro's wife or sister or whatever catches wind of the immigrant's dubious plot and using her womanly charms gathers her various ex-boyfriends to her side. Also, one of them is a priest somehow. And so they form a dubious counterplot to kill the foreigner just because he's different. Several innuendos later they succeed, but the black guy dies. Typical. Finally, Frankenstein, or the modern Prometheus. Victor was a smart guy, but he wasn't smart enough to know that magic isn't real, dum-dum, or that marrying your cousin ain't cool, or that the forces of nature are not to be toyed with. So, being the smart dude he is, he drinks himself into a stupor and has some freaking FAS baby with Mama Nature, and dang was it ugly. Ugly Bro was so ugly that Frankenstein died, or at least got really scared and ran away. So Ugly Bro wandered around until he found a nice French family who taught him how to do stuff until they figured out he was ugly and threw rocks at him until he left. Rather than committing ritual suicide like a good little abomination, Ugly Bro converted his sadness into rage and swore vengeance upon his creator. Several discreet murders later, Ugly Bro promises to be a good boy if Victor will make him a lady friend. Victor refuses, so Ugly Bro kills his adopted cousin/wife/sister, and then they play tag until Victor dies of exposure. The end. Oh wait, I have to compare them and stuff. All three books were set during the American Civil War, but none of them took place in America.